Hello, YouTube and X or Twitter X or whatever you want to call it. It's your main man BTM here, bringing you back on this Friday to the Turbo Toad turn up. I don't know what's going on with the Turbo project, but it seems like people are losing interest in leaving the project, which is cool, right? If you guys want to leave, there's no problem. But if you're here and you've been here, keep your conviction, right? The entire market is down. Trump is announcing tariffs next week, I guess April 2nd, right? So he's going to announce if they're going to continue tariffs or if they're going to start, which would be a very big catalyst to the market and especially the crypto market. So things are going to get worse before they get better. But the question is, are you going to hang in there, right? Are you guys really here and really with the Turbo Toad community, the Turbo Toad turn up, the Turbo Toad warriors? Let me know what you guys think in the chat about your convictions with the Turbo Toad and the Turbo Toad Army. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe and super chat. So let me know in the comments what you guys think about the Turbo Toad turn up. And if you are still here and part of the Turbo Army, right? Are we still diamond handing it? Because now is a good time to buy the dip. This is probably one of the best entry points to get in and hold. Right now is the time. If you're looking to create generational wealth, right? This is not financial advice. This is just for entertainment purpose. It's your main man BTM here, bringing you back to the Turbo Toad Central, the Turbo Toad Hub. Remember where you started from, right? Remember, dance with who brought you to the party. So let's go. I guess we'll turn on the spotlight and go from there. Let me see. Let's see. Let's go to Twitter and X and see what is going on there. Thanks for joining. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe and super chat. And let me know if you guys are still deep into Turbo. Put Turbo Fire in the chats, right? Comment Turbo Fire with the fire emoji if you guys are still here and holding it down for the Turbo Toad. Where the Turbo Toad Warriors? Where's the Turbo Toad Army? Where are you guys at? Looks like actually let's check the bubbles. So if you can see here, there's only three there's only three bubbles on here. And I know people don't really watch videos when the price is down or people don't tune in. But I'm just here to see where are the Turbo Toad Warriors. So this is AI ALI is down 10 up 10%. COR Chrono is up 7.2. ZBCN is up 2.1. Turbo is down 11.6 cents. I mean 11.6%, which is pretty crucial. AIZ BT's down 19, Moodam's down 17, Kaspa's down 7.2, Fetch is down 7.5, Gala's down 9, Nero's down 17, Prime is down 14, Mog's down 15, Nero's down 17, AI 16 is down 9, Mr. Miggles is down 17, Pudgy Penguin is down 9, Hat with a Hat is down 11. So this is really when your convictions kick in, right? If you are really truly into Turbo, this is when you buy the dip, right? Either you get deeper in or you sell. And personally, I never thought it made a lot of sense to sell on red days, right? If you're already down, why would you sell and surrender whatever possible profits you might have made? Let's look at the Ether scan. So the Ether scan is pretty much the telling the tale, right? It's still 53,152 holders, up 0.015%. So there's actually people still joining the Turbo Toe community when Turbo is down 77% in the last 90 days, 33% in the last 30 days, zero point 0.8 in the last 7 days, and 11.6% today. People are still buying because the project is solid, right? It's a good team. It's good investments. It's not financial advice. This is just for entertainment purposes. But Turbo Toad, he is going to bounce back, right? If you can see here on the 7-day chart, it's going down. And on the 30-day chart, it's down. But if you can look at crypto in general, crypto as a whole has been down pretty much since the beginning of the year, right? It's been up and down, mainly down. So let's look at the 5-minute chart. You can see a MACD cross, and we're losing volume on the 5 minutes, 15-minute chart. Got a red candle, but looks like we're building volume on that 15-minute chart. On the 1-hour chart, looks like 2 red candles, and we're losing volume, and the MACD is way down. 4-hour chart shows, oh wow, uh, consecutive red candles, and we're losing volume, and the MACD is crazy down. Look at the day chart. Day chart shows a big red candle, but there's still volume building for Turbo. If you notice throughout this month, Turbo has been building volume. Actually, since February, since January, it's been building more than losing, right? And the MACD is up. Let's switch the indicator to the RSI indicator. Okay, so that was the MACD. Just wanted to make sure that was the MACD. Let's switch to the RSI indicator. This is the RSI indicator. It looks like Turbo is down and 40% for based RSI in RSI based moving average is down as well. I have a big red candle on the day. See, look at the 4-hour chart. 4-hour chart RSI is also down relative. Based RSI is down. What was that? The hour chart. Like RSI is way down the hour chart, right? Down below this 20%, 28.03, which is extremely low, but it is lack of confidence in the market. It's not just Turbo, it's across the board, right? 15-minute chart shows RSI in the 30, 40s, and 5-minute chart shows RSI is flat, around 47. And looking at the coin ranking. So Turbo's still holding at 25, right under Giga Chad. Giga Chad's 161.3 million. Turbo's 152.4. Um, Satoshi is 133.3 million. So Turbo is above Satoshi and Nero and pushing back up. Peanuts in 21, AIZ 16, 20. Popcat is 18. Snake is 15. Interesting. Brett's at number 12. But if Turbo can get back at least to the 200, 300 million market cap, which we've done several times, that'll put them back in the top 15. Just waiting for that volume to start coming back. But let me know what you guys think about that. And let's go to Twitter. Currently on Twitter, we have, let's see here. Turbo is going parabolic in 2025. And of course, the further it goes down, the harder it's going to pump, guys. Just keep that in mind, right? There's nothing Turbo can do but go up. Turbo is about to launch. The doors to the moon are wide open. Last call, get in now and stay on the ground. Think you've seen it all in the meme coin space. Think again. Turbo is just not another hype coin. It's built to dominate this bull run. While others fade, Turbo ignites. Get in early and watch it fly without you, or watch it fly without you. Strong fundamentals, massive potential, and an unstoppable community. Time to jump in. I would say we should set up a raid, but I need to wait. All right, let's see how things pan out next week and see what the announcement is for the tariffs and see how the market. So maybe next Friday. I don't know what you guys think. You think it is raid time for next Friday, or do we need to prepare to set something up for Friday, April 4th? Peg leg Wally. Turbo is number 2 again, and this is by community. We're just under APU and above broccoli. That's weird. This is do that thing again. So shout out to Turbo 8, Terminate, I guess. Black Widow Phantom, Turbo Toad. People want to know whose underwear is under there. Well, I'll tell you, the investor is smart, savvy. They're wearing Turbo in the loom. Turbo of the loom is the luckiest undies you could own. Come free with each bag. Turbo Toad token you acquire. Feel lucky, punk. Turbo to the moon. I wish everyone have a wonderful day. Just think about the community. Stay positive, right? Keep pushing. Don't give up. Time to dig in and start pushing Turbo hard, right? Where are your convictions? Have you given up? Let me know in the chat with a fire Turbo if you guys are still in it to win it, right? And anything you guys can do to keep focused. Let me know how we can, I guess, power up the army, right? Time to be ready for this Turbo 2 takeover. I suspect if Turbo does continue to pump, right, after the announcement next week, tariff or no tariff, when the sentiment comes back to the crypto market, Turbo is going to be one of the leaders. Hasbro, did you hear us? We want Monopoly Turbo Meme Edition. Bitcoin Boulevard, Ethereum Alley, Turbo Tower as properties. Crypto as currency is the wildest community on the board. That's pretty cool, actually. It's a good idea with the Turbo Monopoly. Good morning, Turbo fans. A new day means new opportunity to learn, to build, to grow. The market reward those who stay, adapt, and keep pushing forward no matter what. Let's make today count. It's actually cool. Peg leg Wally. Marat again. It's always Marat. New era of meme coin is upon us. People are realizing that the hyper gambling we will get you nowhere. Time to join meme coin with real mission, community, and belief. Attention roller coaster fuels meme coins with Lindy effect. So I'm not 100% sure what the Lindy effect is, but I do know he's right, right? The overall narrative is people are consolidating, right? Like I previously mentioned, this bull run is going to weed out a lot of stuff. Regulation coming and actual projects being able to take off. There is going to be a big regulation push, excuse me, and a lot of cryptos will literally disappear. I think Turbo is going to push up, right? I think this is what the crypto market needs and what Turbo needs. If we can just get Ethereum back on track and rolling, Turbo will also roll up. So let me know if you guys are still here with Turbo. Put a Turbo fire in the chat if you know where it's at. I got a bit of a cold, so I'm kind of hard to breathe, actually. Taking a short break from the timeline, heading to Denmark for a week. Hot dogs and harbor vibes. Stay awesome, Turbo community. Can't wait to hop back in soon. So let me know what you guys think. Let me see. See you next week. Peg leg Wally. And most bullets meme coin in the last 24 hours. And Turbo is number 2 after Morab? Mobar? I don't know. But Turbo still hangs around in the top, so just continue to be patient, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cats and dogs, toads and tadpoles. Linsanity, day 51 of Relentless Pushing Turbo. This isn't stopping until we smash past the multi-billion-dollar cap. That's what I'm talking about. Somebody is still here, still concerned for Turbo pushing past that multi-billion, billions or nothing. Turbo and Hold treasure. On Sunny Beach, Turbo found glowing money bags. More than a treasure, it's the powerful Hold community. No quick gains, just holding strong together. Turbo smiled, knowing this is a movement. So shout out to Max. What is this? Dutch Coin Hunter. What's going on, bro? This isn't just March, it's a movement. The wave of those who think differently, build boldly, and meme fearlessly. Turbo is more than a token, it is a tribute to creativity and conviction. No pressure, just presence. So, where is the conviction at, guys? Where is the army? What is going on with the Turbo Toe community? Are we here? Are we live? Are we ready for the takeover? Right? I think we should set up a takeover next Friday. Not sure what the theme is, but I did see the Taco Bell thing. So I'm not sure. Waving goodbye to the FUD like no time for drama. I've got memes to make. And I think this is pretty cool with the small, I guess these are toads inside the massive toad. Isn't it amazing? Every cell is unique, yet together they create something powerful, something alive. Just like Turbo, we grow, evolve, and thrive as one. So shout out to the Turbo Toad Warriors. See here. So I guess that is what we got going on Twitter currently. Let me double check something while we are waiting. I guess we'll jump into the videos and see if there's any new news on the Turbo Toad token. The Turbo Toad Warriors Turbo turn up. Let's see here. That's actually pretty cool. Let me see. Let's go back over to the Black Tiger Miner um, homepage. And this is, excuse me, Turbo feels the bull, do you? The mind of a metropolitan is where visions lay at the foundation of ambitious field empires. Turbo is more than a meme, it's an ignition of destiny, a prosperity of unstoppable greatness. Ignore the FUD and hold strong. Our time is coming. I like that. I like the turbo with the world, I guess, on his head. Unleash your inner power. When times get tough, you have choices. Stay the same or level up. Just like Goku pushes past his limit to become Super Samaran? Samaran? I don't know. And Turbo rises stronger every day. Believe in yourself. Keep grinding. Evolve into something strong. So shout out to the Turbo community, right? Amidst the total market downturn, you guys are still here pushing the narrative and holding strong. The Turbo Toe community cannot be stopped. Turbo Toe turn up. Let's keep pushing and bring it back. As Turbo King says, time to run it back. Time to run Turbo back up. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Guys, been pretty slow today. So let me see what is going on. Let me see here. What you got in the chat. So let's see. So we got said Tom Sawyer and Turbo have a good time whitewashing offense. Where's Becky Thatcher when you need her? No FUD zone. Come on, Sammy. 51 days. Let calmness be your compass. Peace and destination in Turbo. I think so too. So there's some big announcements coming for Turbo next week. So let me know what you guys think and continue to diamond hand. So I guess that's pretty much all the announcements. Kind of slow on this Friday. So let's click to a video. This is my main man, Stock Holiday. See what he's talking about with his predictions.
That right back at you again with the latest and the greatest in these cryptocurrency markets. Do me a quick favor, hit that like button, press that subscribe button. Now let's get it. Today, we have another day to tackle and wrestle with the world of cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, altcoins, all that good stuff. The roller coaster continued today. We will be talking about one of the most up and coming popular cryptocurrencies around. So let's go ahead and take care of a little bit of housekeeping. Currently, right now, Bitcoin is $86,860. Excellent level. We have seen Bitcoin well below that most recently. So $86,860 is solid. That's totally acceptable for me. Most recently, yesterday, I think we've seen Bitcoin get to $88,000. A little bit of a pullback right now. Nevertheless, I'm expecting it to continue to launch in the upward direction, and we will be seeing and touching $90,000 level for Bitcoin very soon. Bitcoin dominance is still holding strong. It is still doing its thing. 60.61%. Fingrid index is 34. Yesterday we saw the Fingrid index at 32. A few weeks ago we saw the Fingrid index at 15. Pay attention to the Fingrid index. The fact that it is continuing to tick up, that means that the market is getting ready to do what? Tick up. That's what I'm paying attention to. Ethereum, $2,018 right now, 8.56% in dominance. So let's go ahead and get into the coin of the day. The coin of the day is none other than Turbo. Turbo meme coin is one of the most exciting and popular cryptocurrency meme coins of this particular cycle. Currently, right now, the price of Turbo meme coin is 0.0025, only number 243 largest cryptocurrency in the world, and the market cap is only $174 million market cap. Now, we've been watching Turbo for a very long time. We've been riding the Turbo roller coaster. as well. Now, currently, right now, there's 69 billion coins out there for Turbo. That's the maximum supply. And guess how many coins are now circulating? hmm Turbo is now finally fully diluted. 69 billion coins are now in circulation. So that is a very good sign. That means that Turbo can continue its uptrend without any cautions for coins to be dumped back onto the market and sucking and suppressing the price. So that right there gives us a lot of stability. So over the next time Turbo go on its parabolic run, we should not see a serious decline like we've seen most recently. March 10th, I've been talking about the date March 10th. March 10th, hopefully we can look back and say, you know what? March 10th was the bottom. That is the date that we should have been buying if we were to buy the bottom of this most recent dip. March 10th, Turbo was 0.001. Currently, right now, Turbo's 0.0025. So it has increased in just a matter of a couple of weeks to a great level. 0.0025 is a great level for Turbo to continue to climb out of that March 10th bottom. Past couple of days, we have seen Turbo wake up. Turbo is dusting its shoulders off. It is getting ready to wake up. And as the fear and greed index starts to tick up, these altcoins is getting ready to wake up. Turbo said, you know what? Do not leave me out of it. Turbo is ready to run and continue what it has been doing. Now, we know that Turbo have hit the Grand Slam. That right there is not to be taken lightly. What is the Grand
Happy Friday, Sammy. What's going on, brother? Thanks for joining. Thanks for sharing, and subscribing. And of course, thanks for being positive. I was looking at your post earlier, and you, of some of the people that are still in the project, remain positive, and I appreciate that. And I was telling these guys, don't give up, right? This is when you fully get involved in your convictions, and this is when you understand what you're holding, right? The Turbo Toad Warrior, the Turbo Toad Turn Up. Thanks for supporting the community and continuing to stay positive. There's a lot of FUD going around, there's a lot of negativity, there's a lot of toxic folks trying to bring down the toad. But because of people like you in the community, Turbo can continue to pump and continue to run. And when it comes back, everybody's going to run back to Turbo. And we're going to be like, I told you so. But thanks for being positive, Sammy.
Slam, coach? What that mean that Turbo has covered all four bases. When we first started buying Turbo, we were buying it on uphold, dollar cost averaging in. We were making a lot of money when it was on up. I made a lot of money from Turbo when it was just on uphold. I got it when it was real low, ran it all the way up, took profits. We made a lot of money on Turbo. Then it got listed on crypto.com. I said, what? The price continued to go up. Then it got was talks about Coinbase, talks about Binance, and lo and behold, it got listed on Coinbase. Boom. That was third base. Then boom, it got listed on Binance. That was four bases. It covered all four bases of Grand Slam for Turbo, and it happened so quick. There are several coins out there that we're still waiting to get listed on Coinbase, still waiting to get listed on Binance. Turbo has covered all four bases, all of the four large cryptocurrency exchanges. Turbo is supported by, and that right there is very positive. That's very bullish for Turbo. We know when Turbo was pumping, when Turbo was running, the December all-time high, Turbo did get to a penny and a half. It got to 0.015. Everybody was bullish, and rightfully so, because it had just started getting the new listing, so forth and so on. So we still had price predictions of 10 cent, and that is still my price prediction. 10 cent Turbo. If Turbo was to hit 10 cents, that'll be near a 50x from where it's at right now. That's why in the previous video yesterday, I said, you know what? There's still some 30x, 40x, 50x plays out there. Don't get it twisted. We're still early 2025. There's still a lot to go. Altcoin season will show and altcoin season will prove that these coins still had a lot of momentum in them, as we see March 10th could potentially be the bottom of this particular phase that we're going through. What have we been doing? We just been buying these dips. If we see any opportunities, we have been taking advantage of it, knowing that the markets have always shown and told us that when we see fear, when we see extreme fear, we are instructed to buy. Where are we at right now? Fear and greed is at 34. We did see it at 15, but now it has more than doubled in just a couple of weeks. So that right there could be telling us that the market is getting ready to stir up some smoke. You want to get in early before things get too smoky. That's what we're doing right now. That's why we're being patient. But also pay attention to Turbo. I was running the charts on Turbo and I was looking. I said, you know what? Over the past 3 months, the past 90 days, Turbo is down 80%. Damn, that's a whooping. Turbo beat down. That's kind of like a bear market dip. They say when the bear markets come, your coins will go down 80, 90%. This damn thing went down 80%. That's massive. But if you take a look at it, that is just back to the levels that it was in May of 2024. That just shows how strong and of a parabolic run that Turbo ran on last year in 2024. This coin only been out since September 2023. This is a fairly new coin. It have had its ups, had its down, but the characteristics of Turbo is that when this coin really starts to run up, it run up very violently, very strong. And the same way in a downward direction, it comes down very strong. As you can see, over the past 90 days, it is down 80%. Now that right there, let's put things into perspective. We seen the Fin Greek index at 15 a few days ago. Now it's at 34. So we're getting ready for an uptick. Okay, Turbo, last 90 days, you was down 80%. Guess what Turbo can do? In a few weeks, Turbo can be up 80%. That's what Turbo can do. If you take a look at the characteristics of Turbo, we've seen it before. We've seen Turbo go up over 200% in one day. So in 2 weeks, yeah, Turbo can go up 80% and recapture a lot of the gains that it lost over the past 90 days. Understand the characteristics of your coin is very important. When you get into these coins, you got to monitor these coins. You got to watch how these coins act, watch how they react to the various news. I was just chatting with a brother over there in the Patreon. We were talking about ZBEC Network. We were talking about the characteristics of ZBEC Network, talking about the liquidity, so forth and so on. We had a great back and forth dialogue about ZBEC Network. Why? What are we doing? We're paying attention to the characteristics of these coins that we say that we are invested in. It is very important. Your coin will speak to you good or bad. If it's doing something bad that you should be paying attention to, it's going to speak to you. It's up to you to pay attention to it, or you can choose to ignore it. Turbo have been speaking to me since I've been in it. I've been watching it. And now, right now, we're getting ready to head back to the uptick. I'm going to see if it's going to continue to act like it has been acting over the past year or so that I've been in it. Are the characteristics going to continue to show as far as how it has been acting over the past year, year and a half, however long it's been since we've been in it? This is a journey. We have to learn how to navigate through the journey. If you don't know how to navigate through the journey, you will make some turns that you should not be making. You'll go down some avenues that you should not be going down. Why? Because this is a journey. When you're going through a journey, it's kind of like no man's land. You don't really have a cheat code. You have to pay attention to the signs, pay attention to some of the writings on the wall, and that how you are will be able to better navigate through this bull market journey that we are in the midst of. Very exciting times right now. Are we out of the woods just yet? Not quite. Could be. Like I say, hopefully March 10th can represent current bottom that we hit. And now we'll just be starting to dig.
A shout out to Stock Holiday, and thanks for joining the Black Tiger Miner Crypto News Network. And what he's saying is real, right? Turbo is just early on still, guys. It's still heating up. and it is getting ready to take all the way off. So let's look into.
What's up, guys? I'm Caden with Crypto Now or Never, and welcome back to another update on Turbo. If you enjoy this content, please do me a favor and hit that like and subscribe button. None of this is financial advice. Let's get into it.
I have a dream, that's all I need. I'll make it happen so I can't believe. Know what I want.
Okay, so as usual, we're just going to start off with a quick little Bitcoin update. And this is actually Bitcoin in the 1 hour time frame. So do understand this changes very quickly. By the time you guys are watching this video, it could be completely different. But as we stand right now, Bitcoin just had a massive red candle and we lost the symmetrical triangle. However, right now we are starting to get another decent bounce. We're back up to 87,200. The main thing that I am watching on Bitcoin right now is that we do not break back into this pattern. You can see at the moment we are actually using this pattern as a support level. At the moment, we have had slight tweezer bottoms off of this. But if we see a situation where we break down and we come back down and retest the 200-day moving average, then that might not be a great look. That'll put us right back into this bear flag pattern. And I'll show you guys the bear flag on the daily time frame because it's easier to see. But this is the bear flag pattern that I've had drawn for quite a few days now. And bear flags break down 68% of the time. And when you look at the daily candles, you can see that we've had tweezer tops. This is not a great look. Very similar to how we love tweezer bottoms. We don't like tweezer tops. That shows a lack of buy pressure. So if we break back into the bear flag, then understand it is live. And in theory, this bear flag has a measure move all the way down here to around 72,100. Now, is it guaranteed we come down and hit this level? No, it's not. But it is possible. We are not in the clear yet for Bitcoin. I want to be crystal clear. Long term, I still think we look very good. And you throw in the fact that the Fed just slowed down QT, which is also very bullish for the economy. Eventually, risk on assets are going to start performing much better. But we absolutely could still drop one more time. And if you look at it from a weekly standpoint, it actually would make sense. Price action would come back down and retest the previous highs. In theory, what you'd be looking for is for price action to bounce off of the previous highs. That'd be a classic support and resistance flip. Previous resistance would then become support. So it's definitely not the end of the world if it happens. Just be prepared that it could happen. When we look at Ethereum still is not bouncing near as much as Bitcoin. It's getting a decent bounce, but we are still way beneath the 200-day moving average on the weekly time frame. In order for me to be confident that Ethereum is breaking out, we have to get back above this level. In this case, the 200-day is just beneath 2,500. But in all of my previous videos, I've also been showing you guys that Ethereum is extremely oversold on pretty much all of the larger time frames. You look at the weekly, we're extremely oversold. You look at the 2-week, we're also extremely oversold. You look at the 1-month time frame, we are also extremely oversold. You look at the 3-month time frame, we are also extremely oversold. What this tells me is that there could come a time where Bitcoin has a consolidation period and Ethereum starts to fly. That would also make sense for those who are looking for altcoin season. You're not going to have altcoin season when Bitcoin is flying. That's not how Bitcoin dominance works. Now, if we take a look at Turbo, you can see that Turbo is currently at a $177 million market cap. So it's had a decent bounce. And my last Turbo video was around 150 million. So it's good to see that it's gaining some traction. Although I want to point something out. Turbo is not bouncing as much as certain other projects. If you look at the bottom of Turbo to the top of Turbo, it has bounced about 39%, maybe 40%. That's not a terrible bounce. It's still much higher than Ethereum. But if you do look at something like Pepe, which is a much larger project, it bounced 77% from the lows. Now, again, is that something to be worried about? Not necessarily. But do keep in mind that Pepe is a blue chip and it bounced higher than Turbo. If we look on CoinMarketCap, you can see that Turbo has dropped down to the 241st largest crypto. However, if you look at Turbo's volume, it's actually still very good. It's almost 20% of the market cap. Turbo still has 34.7 million volume. This is actually very good. A lot of projects in the same range do not have the same volume, and that shows interest in Turbo. And the other reason that I'm still very confident in Turbo's future is because of their listings. You cannot take away the fact that Turbo has Binance, it has Coinbase, it has OKX, it has pretty much everything you need. These exchanges never would have listed Turbo if they didn't think it had long-term potential. And if you look at the Turbo X account, nothing has changed. They're still engaging with the community every single day. So honestly, what I'm watching for Turbo right now is to see if we can get back above this previous support level. This blue line right here, about 202876. If we can get back above this level, then I will be bullish on Turbo again in the short term. But the reality is that we did lose a major support level, so now we need to reclaim it. And understand there is always a chance that it does not happen right now. If we see Bitcoin and Ethereum break down out of their flags, then that will probably drop the entire Memecoin market as well. Now, I want to be very clear again. I'm still very bullish on Bitcoin and Ethereum's larger time frames. But the smaller time frames, it shows that we could drop. All of that being said, if you guys are interested in joining a like-minded community and navigating this bull run together, then I recommend.
So shout out to Crypto Now and Never for joining the Black Tiger Miner News Network. And that update, I think he is right, guys. Don't give up, right? This is when your convictions come in and you know what you're trying to do and if you're going to stay around. So this is this trading sniper. Let's see what he has to say real quick.
Fantastic. Listen up, ladies and gentlemen. Today we are talking about Bitcoin, Bitcoin dominance, the market conditions, and some altcoins. You know, I believe crazy, crazy times are ahead. And when I mean crazy times, pretty much the translation is I believe the recoveries are here. I believe it'll be happening sooner than later. And I do believe the next few months are going to be some of the most exciting months when it comes to crypto. I genuinely believe that we are much closer for altcoin season to get triggered and to happen, right? I know a lot of us that bought, let's say, beginning of 2024, end of 2023, maybe midway through 2024, we thought, maybe it's going to happen that year, even though previous data did suggest that it would possibly happen in 2025, April, May time. We are on track in terms of everything. We're just slightly delayed in terms of pace. But when it comes to the actual blueprint itself, everything is still aligning the exact same way. Everything is still lining up the exact same way. It's just that the times may be different. So if we do get hypothetically a double pump, instead of the first pump being, April, May time, it actually might be summertime or early fall, right? Maybe like August to October. And then the second one could very likely be, depending on the context, either beginning of 2026 or maybe, March to May time in 2026 before everything officially crashes, right? So the blueprint itself, it's still on track, right? But it's just the timings are slightly different. It's slightly more delayed, but it makes sense because the thing is, ladies and gentlemen, you got to realize there's some lot more money involved. Okay. Taking something we've seen historically, let's say Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin, if we even go on a daily chart, we zoom all the way out. You know, Bitcoin going from, let's just say, even all the way down here, where it went from 17, $15 to $250, that was much, much easier than going from what we are today. Okay. Because moving from, let's just say even $40 to 250, it takes way less money. And sure, Bitcoin was less popular at the time and, everything, but that still doesn't change the fact that it does take less capital and less money for, to get those kind of gains, and not only get those kind of gains, but to get them in such a short amount of time. Okay. The thing is with cycles play out very, very quick in the beginning, right? So if there's a new coin, whether it's a meme coin or it's any type of coin, you will see that there will be a cycle within cycles, within cycles, within cycles, right? What we see on Bitcoin right now and everything that's playing out, this whole cycle might take a couple of years, right? The pumping up, the selling off, the bear season, the recovery, the accumulation here, then the recovery here, then the accumulation here before we go up and whatever before we top out. This whole process might take years, even if you want to just say the cycle started, let's say somewhere back when we start to recover in late, early 2023, right? Let's just say somewhere here, right? This line here, right? Some people might count that as the beginning of a new cycle or whatever, but the reality is still the same, right? The reality is still the same that it does take longer and longer each cycle. Now, historically, it has kind of taken similar amount of time, um, but it also has been getting pushed a little bit further each time, and I believe that's going to be the case all the time now. Because like I said, something going from, let's just say, 1 million market cap to 10 million market cap, that cycle can play out within hours. Okay. But going from 10 million to 500 million market cap, that will take much longer. And then going from 500 million market cap to billions of market cap will take much longer. And then the same thing, it's just the same thing, right? Going from what we are right now, which is what a huge amount of market cap in terms of Bitcoin, 1.7 trillion, right? Going from that market cap to where we possibly might top for the end of the cycle, let's say double the amount, let's say roughly 3 to 3.5 trillion. Okay, let's just say that takes a lot more than what we initially were dealing with, years ago. Okay, and that's just the reality, right? It's the same thing with gold, the same thing with like forex pairs, same thing with everything, right? It's just same thing with stocks. It's just how it goes nowadays. So with that being said, right? With that being said, we will be looking at the charts. The thing is, ladies and gentlemen, we are pretty much going sideways. Ultimately, there is a little bit of bearish movement, but it is very, very slow and is it's very, very sideways, which means we're kind of ranging. So even though we are right now, we can see in terms of candle closes, making lower lows and lower highs. The thing is, I expect us to recover very, very quick and break to the upside the moment we fill up the gap for Bitcoin. We have a gap at roughly, $84,500. And once that gets filled up, I do believe there's no real reason to be chilling around these areas. If we do chill around the mid 80s to high 80s for Bitcoin, it's because we will be going sideways. We will continue to consolidate before we start recovering. The thing is, once we start recovering and we do recover, that is it. We're not going back until the cycle is finished or it is in the bear season. Okay, that is the reality. So now that that is out the way, let's look at something like Bitcoin dominance. We can see Bitcoin dominance has been steadily going sideways overall. We did talk about how slowly going down, but it was in preparation of it going up higher. We do believe, the next move for Bitcoin dominance is going to be roughly that 64%, 64.30%. We probably will see a decent dip, roughly 50% of this position. So whatever 50% of this top is to, let's just say, to this bottom, right? We could see Bitcoin dominance go back down another 2%, which means all coins will probably have a decent pump. And then once again, we probably have a quick recovery and then we will continue to the upside. The thing is, ladies and gentlemen, right, the end goal at the end of the day, when we're talking about from purely A to Z, is that I believe we will be going between that 68 to 70% zone up here before we sell off. Okay. Before we sell off. And, some people may believe this is, the area. I don't think so. There's no suggestion at this current moment. Yes, there is decent amount of orders here, but I do believe we will be breaking past them. Once we have them, there's decent amount of imbalance all the way up until like I said, 69 to 70% zone. And from there, that's where I believe we will top out. Of course, we'll have to see and mark everything up, but I think that's very, very highly likely. Worst case scenario, maybe we go to 74, maybe we go, just to 69, maybe 68. But the point is the general area is somewhere going to be here. So we will go up. We'll probably have a break of structure, decent sell-off, and then we're probably gonna have something very, very, very similar to where we consolidate for a couple of weeks, like we did here, before we get a big, big crash. In terms of the big crashes, I do expect it at the minimum to go somewhere back down to 48%. But it is also very, very likely, ladies and gentlemen, that we could be dropping. If we go to look at this like monthly, we could very well drop to levels of 40%. And dare I say, even if we sweep these levels, we may go back below 35%. So you can see how big this is, right? How big the drop is. And I am super, super excited for it. I am really, really, really excited for this. A good comparison could be something like on gold, where I've seen it historically kind of go up very, very slowly, right? Gold, this is obviously on the monthly candle, but gold goes up very, very, very slowly, kind of like Bitcoin dominance. Things kind of go sideways and then they just kind of crash quickly, right? I've seen that type of.
So a big shout out to Trading Sniper. And I think we got one more video from the hardest working man in Turbo. Shout out to Ro. Click this last little video and then we'll shut it down for this Friday and get ready for the weekend, baby.
Portfolio is a little bit jarring. I get it, boys. Trust me, I'm in the same boat as you. I've stopped looking at my portfolio a really long time ago. Anyways, guys, if you are new to the channel, my name is Ro. We talk about the latest and the greatest cryptocurrency. We talk about what's trending and what's hot right now, and some interesting narratives that we like to take a look at. So if you guys are new, make sure you subscribe, hit the bell notification. Guys, I am almost at 14,000 subscribers. First of all, I just want to say huge, huge thank you to everyone from the Turbo community, because I do know a large part of my following is from the Turbo fam. So if you guys are new, please, guys, help your boy out. by subscribing, because these videos are not easy to make. I get them out every single day, 3 videos a day for the last year. So yeah, without further ado, let's hop into today's video. We're taking a look at the chart. First of all, market cap of Turbo sitting at a solid 2.24% down, sitting at $169 million market cap, volume up 25%. But again, not the good kind. We do see that the volume is up, but we obviously want to see the market cap up along with it. One thing I've always learned is that volume increase does come before market cap increase. However, it could go both ways, right? We are dumping right now in the markets, guys. The S&P 500 is also down. I do know that Trump came out with another little bit of his tariff scares. So again, it could be affecting the market in a negative way, short term at least. Now, long term, you guys know I am still very bullish on the crypto markets. I still do believe that we are going to be okay. We're going to be fine. Again, that is my personal opinion. One thing I would like to preface, guys, in every single one of my videos that I make, none of these videos that I do are financial advice, right? They're only my own opinion. They're what I'm doing. They're what I'm looking at. And again, it's all for entertainment at the end of the day, guys. However, if you do want to know what cryptos I buy, sell, hold, there is something called the Memecoin Mastery. You guys could check that out. Link is in the description. You guys get exclusive content and you get to be a part of an active trading community, guys. You guys could go ahead and check that out here and join if that is something that you are interested in. Now, as of right now, Turbo, one of the most solid meme coins that you could buy to this day, listed on over 120 exchanges. Now, to my awareness, there aren't many coins with this level of market cap, right? 170 million, that are listed on a plethora of different exchanges. The dev himself is Docs. I don't know any other meme coins that have a Docs dev that has done as well as Turbo has. Again, all tokens are in circulation. This is an AI generated project, right? ChatGPT 4 was literally asked to create this with a budget of $69. And from $69, this project ran up to almost $1 billion in terms of market capitalization. And again, I do not think we have seen the best of it yet. I still think that gains are still on the way. You guys know Q1 for Ethereum for altcoins was supposed to be bullish. I was someone who came out and thought it was going to be bullish. Obviously, the opposite did happen, but Q2 should be bullish. Let's take a look at a chart after actually to kind of give you guys a more solid look on what altcoins are at least expected to do in 2025 in terms of April. Now we know Turbo came out with Turbo Chain, Turbo Swap, super cool stuff. Let's on again, guys, a bunch of different exchanges. Literally, you could purchase this thing if you're in North America, South America, Europe, Africa, maybe even Antarctica. I don't know if you could do it in Antarctica. You got Australia. You could purchase this thing in Asia. You could literally purchase this thing everywhere, guys, which is something that I love about Turbo. Again, bouncing off this demand area really, really well. You can see here when we did touch like literally a wick to that 20187 mark. From that, we're up a 33% just towards the upside. Now, if you were someone who sniped that bottom, like this video, and shout out to you guys because you know how to trade supply and demand zones. Now, just from here, back to previous all-time highs, if you were to buy, you're looking at 622% gain, which is about a 7 to 8x return, which is absolutely ridiculous. Now, I don't know about you guys, but that risk to reward from where it's sitting at right now does look very alluring. It's a really good risk to reward, even getting in at this price point, guys, because you know that hey, it's probably not going to break down into that 201 mark. I do believe the worst of the worst in terms of the dump that we experienced is over. Now, if you guys are holders of Turbo, you obviously want to be following them over on X. And one thing that I am going to show you guys is worst Q1 over here. Here you guys see here, ETH is having the worst Q1 ever. Now I think it's simple. The best Q2 is coming. Now, why is this important? Now, I don't know if you guys can see it because of my really big head over here, but after every single halving year, we are expected to have a really solid Q1. You guys may not be able to see it right now, but let me actually go out of it. No, this won't work because I want you guys to be able to see it. Okay, so unfortunately, it's really hard to be able to, boys. But in 2017, guys, which was the halving year, or sorry, 2016, which was the halving year, I believe, you could see that in 2020, in 2017, we had a really good year, right? You could see 31%, 48% in February, 200% in March. So after every Bitcoin halving year, the year that follows right after, you're supposed to see a really good month for Ethereum, for altcoins. We saw 3 green months in 2017. So then in 2021 we had our halving, right? 2020 we had our halving, and then the year that follows right after, right? You can see 78%, 8%, 34% in the following year. But in 2024, after our Bitcoin halving, things were a little bit different. Down 1%, down 31%, down 17%. So if we're seeing the opposite kind of happen here, I'm expecting some big gains for spring. April, May, June should be very bullish, just in the sense that everything kind of got flipped around. And if you guys are turbo holders, go drop and follow over on X. You can see what happened since February 2025. Some new listings, right? Collaborations. One of the biggest things that I love, guys, is a team that builds behind the scenes. If there are collaborations, announcements, partnerships going on while the market is sideways, while the market is down, that is a solid play that I'll be looking at. Turbo branded with NVIDIA RTX founders, which is crazy. Coins PH Filipina, Philippines, Filipinas. Why did I say that? Philippines meme contest, a turbo black debit card, which that's actually really cool. I didn't even know about that. You got turbo integration to WagMe Hub, on-chain rewards on Turbo Chain, added turbo as a playable character on games on Soul and Pixelverse, and they did a 250,000 turbo giveaway. A lot of building, a lot of momentum being put on from the team behind the scenes. Turbo, you are all going to miss on this huge move. I definitely agree, guys. You do not want to miss out on it. Next 50 to 100x meme coin, strong fundamentals, massive potential, and an unstoppable community. Now is time to jump in. When the real alt season kicks off, Turbo will be on this huge going on 8%, 34% in the following year. But in 2024, after our Bitcoin halving, things were a little bit different. Down 1%, down 31%, down 17%. So if we're seeing the opposite kind of happen here, I'm expecting some big gains for spring. April, May, June should be very bullish, just in the sense that everything kind of got flipped around. And if you guys are turbo holders, go drop and follow over on X. You can see what happened since February 2025. Some new listings, right? Collaborations. One of the biggest things that I love, guys, is a team that builds behind the scenes. If there are collaborations, announcements, partnerships going on while the market is sideways, while the market is down, that is a solid play that I'll be looking at. Turbo branded with NVIDIA RTX founders, which is crazy. Coins PH Filipina, Philippines, Filipinas. Why did I say that? Philippines meme contest, a turbo black debit card, which that's actually really cool. I didn't even know about that. You got turbo integration to WagMe Hub, on-chain rewards on Turbo Chain, added turbo as a playable character on games on Soul and Pixelverse, and they did a 250,000 turbo giveaway. A lot of building, a lot of momentum being put on from the team behind the scenes. Turbo, you are all going to miss on this huge move. I definitely agree, guys. You do not want to miss out on it. Next 50 to 100x meme coin, strong fundamentals, massive potential, and an unstoppable community. Now is time to jump in. When the real alt season kicks off, Turbo will be the fastest in the race. Don't get left behind. Secure your spot now before it's too late. Listen, Turbo fam, you guys know I'm one of the
So shout out to Ro in the Turbo Toe community. But we're gonna shut it down. Thanks for joining. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And remember, stay dangerous. And as always, let's get back to the money, guys. Miner out.